everybody. We're going to make banana fruit loaf today. You might have sampled it on camp before, but as you probably know, before every cooking session there are some things you have to do. Wash your hands. You should be used to that by now. So I'm going to wash my hands here. I won't sing happy birthday, but you're supposed to do it for a good long time, aren't you? Probably longer than that. Okay, as you can see, I've already got my pinny on. And I just took all these wires in. Okay, and make sure if you've got long hair to tie your hair back. Okay. Right, it's a dead easy fruit cake to make, but it's really nice. So the reason I like it and the reason I make it so much is that you just put everything all in one dish, stir it up and shove it in the oven. So it's really easy. So you will have a copy of the recipe to follow. I've got my flour in there already. You just need a mixing bowl and a wooden spoon. So yeah, got the self-raising flour in there. Now if you want to make use of some really grotty bananas that nobody's going to eat because they're way too ripe, this is the ideal recipe. So we need, altogether we need 300 grams of fruit. Now that might just be ripe bananas. You might not like dried fruit, but I usually like to put some dried fruit in as well. So yeah, use up all your bananas. Doesn't work quite so well if they're not very ripe. At this weather, they go ripe dead quickly, don't they? Take off any grotty, horrible bits like that. Make sure you weigh them. And then all in all, we need to get up to 300 grams. Right, so as you can see, we're going to be using a mixture of dried fruit and bananas. So we don't just stick the bananas in whole, we need to cut them up into quite small slices. Another good way of using up ripe bananas is to make banana milkshake. Maybe we'll do that recipe as well. Okay, so we're nearly there. Oh, this is so overripe, it's just like falling to bits in my hands. And then add all that dried fruit. As you can see, I've got quite a lot, probably looks more than yours because I'm making 2 while I'm at it. Okay, so that's the flour, that's the fruit. We've got to add some sugar. Now on the recipe you'll see that it says demerara sugar, which is that brown stuff, but I haven't got any of that at the moment, but it doesn't matter, you can just use normal white granulated sugar and that's absolutely fine. Just making sure I've got the right amount of that. So we just throw that in with everything else, and then we've got to put some margarine in. So if you've got something like that, that would be good. I haven't got a spoon. So weigh that out, and again, like the bananas, you need to chop that up fairly small. Make sure you've got it out the fridge a little while ago so that it has a chance to soften up, and that makes it easier to mix. Okay, so again, you just grab it. That's why you have to make sure you wash your hands really well. There's a lot of handling it in this recipe. Chop that up quite small. And then all we've got to do is add the eggs and the milk. That's nice and soft. Okay, so it's 2 eggs, but seeing as I'm doubling up, I need to put 4 eggs in. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it's looking nice and messy now. And we've got some of this lovely farm milk here, so I'm going to make use of that. It's quite creamy. And we need about half a cup of that, but I'm putting a whole cup in, more or less, because I'm doubling up the recipe. Okay, so that really helps to mix it all up as well. Okay, look at that lovely mess. Then there's one more ingredient which is optional because you might not fancy it or you might not have it. That is mixed spice. Lovely if you like a little bit of a spicy tang to the cake, but it's not overpowering, so it's really nice. I'd recommend it. Just sprinkle some of that on. And then give it all a stir. Okay, so you've also got, you could do this beforehand if you want. You could do with a little tin like that, or maybe slightly bigger. These are quite small. If you want to use a bit of kitchen paper to just make an easy job of greasing it with a little bit of your margarine, grease all around, make sure you get into the corners, just a little bit all over. And then if you've got some greaseproof paper like this, you can just pop that in the bottom. I'm doing things a bit quickly, so it's not that neat, but it'll do the job. Make sure you cut any edges off, because you don't want to do what I did the other day, leave some paper sticking up and set it on fire in the oven. Okay, so there's your tin, all ready to put the mixture in. It really doesn't take many minutes to get it all mixed in like this. And obviously there'll be chunky bits of banana in there, don't worry, that'll be lovely when it's all cooked. And then just pop it into your tin. And then that's ready to pop in the oven. Now, with fruit cakes, it's best not to cook them on a really high temperature, but just to give them that little bit longer and let them cook quite slowly and gently. So yeah, that's what we'll do. That's all ready to pop in now. Okay, so you've got your oven on about 140, and then pop your cake on the middle shelf. These are quite full actually, I need to get some bigger tins I think. If your sides are higher on your tins, that's better. You can cook them in any shaped tin really. Okay, so leave them there and they'll be good for at least an hour. You don't want to keep opening the door and checking them. If you've got a light in like this, it's quite nice to be able to see that they're not burning. And just use a skewer to check after about an hour. I'm sure it'll be over an hour, but just to check that it's actually cooked in the middle, because sometimes they look like they're cooked on the outside and they're nice and brown, but right in the middle they're still gooey, and you don't really want them gooey. Okay, so we'll leave them to do their stuff. Okay, so the banana loaves have had about an hour and a quarter, and they're looking nice. They're smelling good, but let's just see if they're cooked in the middle by poking this skewer in. Actually, that's come out quite clean, which is a good sign. And yeah, I think they're ready. So that's been about an hour and a quarter at 140 on a fan oven. So that might be 160 on just a normal electric oven, but not sure what it is on gas. Okay, so let me just get them out quickly and show you what it looks like. Actually, these tins have been a perfect size after all. Look at that. I'd love to give you a slice, because it's really delicious while it's still warm. You can just eat that as cake, or you can serve it with fruit as a pudding with a dollop of cream or ice cream or natural yogurt or creme fraiche. Delicious.